Hello everyone. This is a terrible angle, but me and my friend here were on the couch and I was thinking that I hadn't done a video for a long time. I had some issues with the internet and I had a really busy couple of months, to be honest, where my focus wasn't necessarily my YouTube channel, which is sad. So I'm having some skin issues at the moment and I'm not wearing any makeup. I've washed my hair, so I look slightly disheveled, but this is the point of my whole YouTube channel, is to be my raw, authentic self and not give a fuck about what people think about how I look. So Snowy's getting bored of this conversation already. He's yawning. So what's been happening? A lot's been happening. Oh, gee, yeah. I'm not caring right now. A lot's been happening. I don't even know where to start. I think the best way, what I should have done is looked back on, what I should have done is look back on my last video and see where I was at, because I don't even remember how long ago that was. But, a lot's happened. I've had a birthday since. I've been on a couple of dates, but I'm still single. I'm like the real life Carrie Bradshaw living in Adelaide. It's disgusting. Except I go on less dates. Work's been really good. I've been really happy at work. Full moon tomorrow, Friday the 13th, full moon. I started my own business since I spoke to everyone last. I also do angel card readings. So I've been doing that as a bit of a side gig, just to, help people, because I feel like that's my calling and that's kind of why I want to do readings for people. I think I get so much value, not value, but you can't put a price on giving someone a message from someone they love, or giving them some advice and direction in case they feel really lost in their life. And I certainly feel like that too. I went to see my psychic that I normally go to see, and the last time I saw him was like a year ago. So it was really good to see him, because I really felt I needed that direction and I needed something. I think the last couple of months I've been, off dating websites. Then I went on and then I went off, and hadn't been on very many dates. I did go on a date with this amazing man who was everything I'm looking for, but he has children. And I'm a bit devastated about that. Now, people watching the video obviously you guys don't know me so well. Some people watching this probably do know me well enough. I just don't think at this point in time I could commit to someone who has children. But it's not to say that is completely ruled out for the future. I just think for now it'd be too much. I think at the moment what's happening with me is that I'm spreading myself too thin. I'm used to, planning my weeks and making sure that I'm really busy all the time, because it really allowed me to not be home and focus on feeling sad about the things that I don't have, but merely just a distraction to allow me to refocus and reshift my focus on the things that I do have. So the whole art of being busy is a slight deterrent. I still have those moments where I sit and I feel sad, and today happens to be Are You OK Day. So I'm very passionate about, mental health and people looking after their mental state of mind and having time for themselves and, taking the time to do some self-care. So I'm trying to balance self-care, and when I'm doing self-care, I don't really like to sit and do blogs and do these videos because it's me time. So I've been doing a lot of that, I guess, spending time with friends. Like I said, I had a birthday, and so from a spiritual sense, when you have a birthday, you go into a new year cycle, life cycle. So if you look up your birth number, that changes every year, and so the cycles change. So I'm going into a year one, which means a lot of change, a lot of new beginnings, a lot of, the last year was a lot to do with year 9, which is closing of chapters and, moving on and stuff. So it's getting late here, that's why I'm yawning. It's past my bedtime, I think. Yep. And I guess the one thing that I recently have, I've had a lot of just hard times understanding people and their motivation and their way of thinking. And it's only just dawned on me now that I can't control the way that people are, and the more I let go of that expectation that people are going to fit a certain mold because I assume that they're going to be that way, or I need them to be a certain way rather than accepting them for who they are. I think, accepting people for who they are rather than expecting them to be the way that you want them to be. I've had some challenging times of late with friendships and setting boundaries around, their expectations on me and vice versa. And I'm kind of, I'm a pretty loyal person, and I'm pretty resilient, but when you push me too much, I can tend to crack, and I don't take it very well. So I'm learning to embrace that emotion but not fly off the handle, because I can do that, and be emotionally reactive. But also, in saying that, not being a yes person and setting some clear boundaries to say, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't stand for that, or I don't agree with what the decision that you've made. So that's been something I've learnt in the last couple of months. The self-care is a big one. Yeah, I guess, and I'm saying yes to too many people, and I'm spreading myself too thin. So, it's all a juggle. I honestly don't think... I'm so sorry. I honestly don't think that I have time for a partner right now. I'd love to have someone in my life that can give me a bit of a cuddle on the couch, and someone who can stroke my hair when I'm not feeling very well. I think the times when you're sick is when you miss a partner the most. When you're unwell and you would like someone to care for you, I think that is the hardest time. You obviously want a partner because, you don't want to go to a wedding on your own, or you don't want to sleep in your bed on your own, or you want to have sex with someone, or there's certainly various reasons why people want a partner, but I think the key where you really feel shit is where you feel sick and you're like, oh God, I just want someone to look after me, someone to care for me. So last night I felt a bit sick after visiting a friend's place, Oh, God. I'm really sorry. I felt a bit sick after visiting a friend. We had a couple of cigarettes and I smoked them too quick. And I felt sick from that and I raced home. I don't know how I made it home and didn't throw up everywhere. But I got home and I felt awful and tears were just streaming down my face as I was watching, of all things, that Britain's Got Talent. And was watching this woman communicate to the audience through a screen, and on the screen it showed her doing art with sand. And it was this beautiful story and this beautiful message of, you know, telling cancer patients to, have hope and stay strong. And that really got me. Feeling sick and then watching that, because, like, our purpose is to be with someone and be happy. But being with someone doesn't defy your happiness. The objective is to be happy and have someone in your life who brings out the happiness in you, who brings out the best in you. Someone who you can rely on, someone you can talk to, someone that will be respectful, someone who will listen and be compassionate and caring. And yeah, look, it's those fundamental things. And I was talking to a friend tonight, and I miss her very much. I don't get to speak to her as often as I'd like. But, she's going through some challenges. She, also is a divorcee at her young age, and she is considering having children without a partner. And, I hope she doesn't mind me sharing this, but her ex-husband is with someone new. And we shared some details around who this person is, traits, looks, and all this sort of stuff. And I really felt for her talking about that today. And I've had a lot of reminders this week about my ex. Now, originally this, YouTube channel was just a way for, like an outlet for me to share exactly what I was going through, and that breakups are shit. I have a friend of mine who is going through a breakup, and very, very similar circumstances to how my relationship ended with my ex. He wasn't married, but I really saw myself in him, and I'm not going to get emotional. I really saw myself in him, and it really brought back some very confronting emotions about how I felt 2 years ago when I first started these videos. These videos were a way for me to talk to someone without having anyone judge me because they don't have preconceived misconceptions about me. But it allowed me to sort of vent, and instead of writing things down, I recorded them on a video. So, it really hit home because of the similarities of what my friend was going through compared to what I went through. And it made me feel uncomfortable because I didn't want to go back to those emotions, and I didn't want to revisit and feel those emotions like I did 2 years ago. And even though I say 2 years like it's actually 2.5 years, It's actually quite raw still. And even though I feel emotionally disconnected from my ex, all this sort of stuff brought up a lot for me, and I found it challenging to process and deal with. And then I proceeded to have a dream about my ex. You know, I had a dream about him that he was crying and said, "I've made a mistake. I made a huge mistake. I'm sorry." And I woke up and I was kind of like dazed and wasn't sure. I've got emotions. They're like, here, I'm trying to fight them and this is not healthy, but I'm trying to be strong. I was talking to a spiritual friend of mine and told her about my dream, and she said to me, "Well, you asked for a fucking apology and you got one. What are you complaining about?" And I was like, "What do you mean, an apology?" "Well, you wanted an apology, right? You got one, but you just didn't get it the way that you were expecting to get it." And I was like, holy shit, I didn't even consider that. I was just floored when she said that to me. I was completely floored. So I got my apology. Funny that I got my apology such a late time after. So I guess the point I'm trying to get at is my friend was going through a rough time. My ex come back into my dreams and gave me this apology. I'd caught up with another divorced friend who's actually is engaged again, which is so lovely for her. And I kind of revisited the whole story because I hadn't seen her or caught up with her. I'd seen her, but we haven't actually had an opportunity to sit down, and I wanted to sort of explain what had happened with my ex and what happened in the lead up. And I was almost reliving all of those emotions and reliving and telling her this story, and she was completely fucking gobsmacked on how it all unfolded and all the things that led up to the day that he broke up with me, because her story was quite similar. Her ex cheated on her, you know, and then today, speaking to my other friend who, you know, is divorced but is having some emotional reactions to him moving on. So, yeah, I guess, I don't know, something's inspired me to jump on tonight. And when I jump on and do a video, there's always a message and there's always something that inspires me to jump on and talk to people about something that's on my mind. And I felt a bit inspired today, and that's why I've jumped on. And I haven't really prepared my face, but I don't give a fuck anyway. So yeah, I think my message and the point I want to get across is that, you know, things happen in our life that trigger an emotional response, and things will keep reoccurring until we've completely dealt with the emotion that we need to deal with to do with that situation or that trauma. And really feeling and living and being in that space is so important for that healing to happen. Allowing yourself time to heal. Allowing yourself to feel like shit. And that's totally okay. There are going to be things that trigger you, and you're never going to truly forget something that has caused you so much pain. But being okay with being not okay is really okay. I know that sounds so ridiculous, but being in that space and really reflecting on where you've come from, I almost kind of forgot and didn't think about my ex. But I have to acknowledge and give gratitude where gratitude is due, that I fucking dodged a bullet. I didn't have children with this man. I don't have to ever worry about bumping into him where I live. We live in separate states. And I need to be grateful for my blessings, that someone in a spiritual sense was looking out for me. My situation could be so much fucking worse. And I'm grateful. I've got a beautiful home. I've got a great job. I've got amazing friends. I'm back, living, very close to my family. I literally don't have anything to be ungrateful for. And yet, why does the mind keep focusing on the bad stuff and the stuff that makes you uncomfortable and the stuff that makes you upset? So I'm really trying hard to shift my perspective. I swear by this, and I do this every night. I go to bed and I think of 3 things that I'm completely grateful for. And I end up always saying more than 3 things, but when you initially start to do this practice, it can be quite difficult. It just resets your mind and puts it in a good state of mind, thinking of, falling asleep, thinking of all the beautiful things that you have and all the things that you're grateful for and all the things that make you happy. I guess getting all these pop-ups saying, go to bed. So, I have to give myself credit where credit is due. I'm on the other side of the shit time from when this YouTube channel began, and I've done all right. I've done a really fucking good job. I'm on no medication. I have a full-time job. I'm a fully functioning adult. I don't have any dependencies on anyone, and I'm so grateful for what I have. I really am. I'm grateful for that experience because it changed me. It changed me. It allowed me to grow. This, and I said this a few times this week to a few friends on the phone. I've grown so much, and to the point where with each year that I get older, I don't tolerate people's shit anymore. If you want to treat me like shit, go ahead, but understand there's consequences that happen. If you don't value me as a person, I will not value you as a person. It is a fucking 2-way street or nothing at all. I don't have time for people's bullshit. I don't have time for people who need to sit there and decide if they want to be my friend or decide if they want to talk to me. I'm here. But it's a 2-way street. Do not mistake my kindness for weakness. And I've said this in other videos before. And I've lost friends in the past who haven't treated me properly. And good riddance to those people. I'm grateful to those people who gave me the lessons of learning more about myself. So, nothing's for nothing and things happen for a reason. And it's so fucking cliche, but it's so true. I'm losing my voice. It's so fucking true. Every experience in our lives shapes us to who we are meant to be. Every experience. You're gonna have shit experiences. Life is like a roller coaster. It always will be. Because we're designed that way. Life will keep challenging us for many years to come. You can't be happy all the time. It just isn't possible. That's not why humans were created, if you believe in all that. Anyway, so look, I might wrap it up there because I feel like I've gotten out and conveyed exactly what I was feeling and thinking. I'm very proud of myself for getting to where I've gotten today. And I owe that to myself, but also a lot of people who supported me and a lot of people who challenged me and pushed me down as well, because I owe it to them as well. Without them, I wouldn't know my strength. So, on that note, I always say in all of my videos, remember, self-care and self-love for you is so important, especially on a day like today. And are you okay day? Are you okay today? And if you're not okay, there are plenty of resources out there beyond Blue and so many other beautiful charities that have helplines to help people who are going through a hard time. Reach out to someone who you might feel is feeling a bit shit, but also don't forget to nurture yourself as well. You know, if you're feeling a bit flat, it is perfectly okay to cancel your plans, go home, run yourself a bath, and put on a good movie and tuck yourself into bed early. The value of that, cannot tell you, that is incredible. So until next time, love yourself more. Good night.